The motor under here, customer wanted to match. Oh, let's go, get messing around, let's do this. Welcome back to another vlog. Thanks for watching. Paul Sanderson, Predator Motorsports. Really excited to show you this episode. One of my favorite trucks. Started with a 94. This far surpasses the Alpha in performance. We've brought the 94 up to the tech level with a few of the elements that I'll discuss as we're going around the truck with all the additions and upgrades that we did. The motor under here, as we get to it, you'll see it is just phenomenal. The build is hand-tailored to the customer. We'll go into those details soon, so bear with me. Starting as we always do in the front here, we have the Viper bumper, 12K winch, flush mount lights, integrates into the frame rails. So this has got full pull directly on those frame rails, having complete strength and integrity of that. You be careful with some of these winch mounts, some of the copies you see out there. They're ill mounted and they don't have that strength tied into the frame. We definitely take all that in consideration. We don't underbuild anything. If anything, we overbuild everything. So D-ring wrapped up, brush guard, Viper bumper, our airlift hooks, which again, we're not one that was offered by AM General. So we've already passed where they were at in the 06 model. These are the 1-inch plasma cut on our table in-house, ties in, eliminates that hoop, goes for a more stout look. From the driver's perspective, it just looks awesome. That massive bar there holding that up. Ties in with that pin mount. It's custom fit to the way it installs to the bumper and the brush guard and everything else. That's the way it should be. You see these guys fighting them. It should be as simple as installed correctly, functions correctly. The Fluor camera was a great addition. You might have seen it in one of the last episodes that Ryan talked about and discussed that. Very popular feature for safety, for entertainment. It's just a blast. You're off-roading and you see a heat source somewhere. Kind of has a level of video game to it, because this is the object detection model. So a block, 2 blocks down the road, it'll actually put a yellow box on there. I kid you not, I want to draw on that like I'm playing a video game. So be careful when you're using this option here. So the Fluor is a great fit, great finish on that. The paint color, I cannot deny, it worked out well. I was skeptical at first. This is a 2019 Cadillac color, and they're burnt orange or bronze color. Great finish. It was on their mid-size SUV. Customer saw it, chose it, sent me the color code, and here it is. Could not be happier the way it fit out. The more black we started to install, the more of our accessories we started to install, really did set off that color. And I can't deny that hood scoop being in the middle really does set that off. That's not only a cosmetic part, but a very functional part. We have these vertical vents that allow a lot more air into that air-thirsty cooling stack. And then the closed off area of the back part of that hood scoop really captures any air that didn't make its way through that cooling scoop or was pushed through for a pusher fan, pulled through by the original fan. It's trapped, so it just has nowhere to go but through there. Told you I'm gonna geek out, so bear with me.
Scoop like 30 times.
I know. Well, because I'm down on the beach, I like a scoop of ice cream, so it's like, you know, my mind works in weird ways. Bear with me, I said that. I said that already, I'll keep saying it. Bear with me, this is gonna be a long one. What we like to do, it's details for me. I come from the custom motorcycle world. You have little real estate to really show off. So what I like, what we do in this, what I feel like I've tried to bring to the table, is the small details. I want to point out as I walk past, changing out the grill that's in there from factory to a smaller box stainless mesh. Ties that in, it matches the hood scoop there. I just think it's those little things that really set it off. My goal when we do any of these builds, say you see this at a car show, you walk past, that's cool, come back the next time. I want you to see something that you didn't notice the first time. So that's kind of what we're looking for. If you see anything on this truck that you think we could have improved, changed, modified, made it better, scroll down, let me know. We'll see if we can implement it. Walking again past it, we got our LED light set. You can get this on our website. It typically comes with the factory style upgraded LED details. You'll see when we work our way around, this one has the oval package. Matching light to the side marker here. Our 6-inch oval was our first rev of the improvement of the factory light. Those factory lights, almost like they belong on a boat. Very fitting, since we're by the beach. but the ovals just have a nice cleaner look. You can see that board behind there. It just brings it to a current standing and current quality that you want to see and or expect. The snorkel is on this truck almost more important than others because the size of that engine. It's got a very air thirsty fleece turbo. The option they went with here is our offset. What this does, it frees that visibility. Wilson went over in one of the previous episodes where it frees the visibility for the passenger and also pushes it to the side. So when you have that driver and you're looking out of that side window, it's not sitting dead center, it's moved out a little bit. I have to show you guys this engine. This thing's phenomenal. So let me walk around, get this thing opened up, really show you what we did. So here we are, the engine bay. This is a beast of an LBZ. This thing's been built from the bottom up, starting with the Cali's crank, Carrillo rods, Molly pistons, fleece turbo, alternating firing order camshaft. This thing's built to go. All specifics and some elements that I brought to it, but mostly geared from the customer's request. It's going to put out a very conservative 6+ horsepower, and but just be stout, be built for years and years. I just talked with this customer the other day. We're going to do a wagon for him, so I'm curious to see what power plant he puts under that. Before we start dreaming of what's to come, let's show off some of the work that these guys did. Florencio ND doing the engine build, and then all your other techs outfitting it and dressing it up. The LBZ is one of the more popular models for the builders because of its performance and upgrades and everything else. It took a huge step ahead from that Alpha, the LLY model. That's another reason, and this is one of the elements that I was talking about earlier when I said this is taken past that Alpha level. This will run circles around an Alpha. Not only because of the motor, because of that 6-speed transmission. It's not AM General's fault. They just didn't have the accessibility or the access to these components that we do now. The 6-speed, they went with the 5-speed. The LBZ or LMM, they went with the LLY. So that right alone, the performance side of it really just is hands down, bar none, a much better upgrade. One of the side notes, since we're going on about the Alpha, I feel one of the most hindered parts or restricted parts is their style of intercooler. We designed and worked with this intercooler, and its performance is bar none. I've taken an LLY, adapted our intercooler in here, and actually had performance similar to what our regular vehicles are. So that is a very power draining intercooler system in there. One thing we changed on this 94 is updated its CTS system. I talked a few times before how we're going to make this a restoration. We took it from an old style, brought it up to and past that Alpha. Get over here, Salazar, let's look at this Manifold CTS upgrade. This is a system that improved from the remedial original factory setup, which I'll show you where it used to be and how we changed it to the new style, the 96.5 and newer, when we get to the interior. The Manifold here improves the factory. It wasn't a Manifold setup, it was just a one valve on the interior. This gives you electronic control over these the two fills and one dump valve here. We've upgraded the onboard system too, going from the rubber lines throughout to the stainless steel. So now we've got stainless steel from the manifold to the T out to the wheel, and on the back, manifold to the T out to those rear wheels. Phenomenal setup. Still utilizing all the systems. It's all sourced from AM General. This is factory equipped, factory serviceable. Definitely a huge upgrade for those earlier models that had that, again, that remedial manual valve. One other thing that we had to do on the 94s is we added a ton of stuff that was usually not there, is a custom box. We are not opposed to getting and being creative and finding ways to get real estate for components and like that. That's the beauty of having our fabrication shop on site. We can custom make this panel here. We've done it on a few other trucks you'll see. Typically to house electronics when a truck gets goes not overboard, but they start to outfit with these lights. We need a nice secure spot for this. I've done Faraday boxes in the same scenario. There's tons of options. There is a lot of room to exploit for these vehicles. Another flawed design was the original mirrors. This is again an AM General source part. The original mirrors were a fraction of the size. We initially made an improvement with a convex mirror, brought that to marketplace probably 18, 19 years ago. But then since when they developed these in the 2002 model, we started putting them on all of our builds. Huge improvement. I don't push anything as the salesman, but this is one thing that I strongly get behind. It's a safety feature, comfort. I've been mentioning that a lot. A lot of these things that we do improve the vehicle, but it's improving the driver's comfort. If you're comfortable with the vehicle, you're gonna drive it more. You're gonna reach for those keys and enjoy the build that you invested in. Speaking of driving more and visibility, the light bar package that he went with is over the top. This is our double stack light bar. We have the 40 in the middle, 2 6s, and 2 20s underneath. It's an impressive amount of light. This thing, with these 2 6s kicked out at an angle, you're well over 180 degrees of lighting, more in the 220, 230 range, if not more. So, awesome upgrade there, and can't deny the look. Moving further down the side here, you'll see the roof rack, which is our search and rescue in the 6-foot variant. Textured slats on top. So this has got kind of a motif of this copper, very strong copper color with that nice texture black finish everywhere. All the parts have been blacked out. Again, bringing it from that 94 up to the newer standard, the restoration to the upgrade improvement of the even the 06, like I keep mentioning. Powder coated package all throughout. We do that to complement the paint. I mentioned it before, it's the small details. Getting that stainless steel button head package is phenomenal. The newer models have a side vent here, and from factory you actually have a Phillips head, a hex head, a flat head. You have like 4 different hardware selections here from AM General. It's like they just threw their bin stock at it. We go through and get all matching hardware throughout. Again, really hitting those details. Kind of frame the vehicle in its color and function. We do a lot for fashion, we do mostly for function. We've got the black of the roof rack. We have now that black accent of rocker panel protection. This is the full panel all the way across. 3/16 plate steel. I've said it numerous times. Wilson seconded that. The side impact protection here is over the top. This is actually an angle iron. So 3/16 angle iron. In that corner, that main contact spot, you've probably got a 1/2 inch of mild steel. This is gonna take any licks. Hopefully it never happens to anybody out there. This takes it that bit further protecting the vehicle, further protecting this particular vehicle, and this beautiful copper color. Cannot deny, like the way it looks. I tend to have briefed way past and blown past our tire and wheel package. As again, this complements it. We wanted to improve the look, performance, and overall feel of the truck without getting too far away from the way it was engineered. The positive 55 offset on the factory wheels tucked those wheels in so dramatically. It looked like you're a big meathead, but you just kept skipping leg day. This fills in those wheels, fills in that bottom section. It's a -6 offset, so it's not too outside of what would be considered accessible for the engineering and the money invested on AM General's part when they developed this model back in '85 as the Humvee base. And then following it in '92, they came out with the first civilian after much urging and promotion from Arnold Schwarzenegger. So great wheel set, 1/4 inch simulated beadlock ring in there, just looks the part, stout as can be. Again, back to details is really where I think you hit the home run. On this slant back tire carrier, this is a custom fit. Customer wanted to match or emulate a build we did out of our Florida location, which had the long travel kit and a full interior roll cage. Scroll back through the episodes, you'll catch that. Our usual tire carrier mounts level, so this tire actually sits up a lot higher. I think this is a much nicer fit, a little bit more low profile, a little more contained. It's a great look to it. The brainchild behind Predator, Ryan Wilson, you'll see him many times on these episodes, is coming up and working through a design with our development team on making this, say, like a pivotable design. So you can then maybe drop it down, access things, swing it up out of the way, drop it down so you can get it off, the spare tire off of there. So watch and stay tuned, where we're going to be seeing some changes here with this product. So that's a quick summary of some of our exterior parts. I did neglect to mention our Predator coating we put on the bed. I like this finish. I like the detail work of how it's been sprayed. The guys at the shop did a remarkable job. Good job, team, killing it. Let's get inside this and show you how we did a complete interior restoration, including our HVAC upgrade and some of the other elements that had to work with the 94, which is a unique model with its limited doghouse. But I really think it worked out classy. Not over the top, it just looks really nice. Now inside the 94 copper truck, we get to really show off a nice classy interior. Magic Hands Roy really just hit it out of the park with this one. The 94 has a unique wedge style doghouse, which really doesn't leave many options for outfitting. We had to choose the Alpine real shallow, so a 3 or 4 inch media based double din stereo. We do theme our stereo systems, so we use that Alpine, that shallow one that works with this unique doghouse. Complemented that Alpine with the Alpine speakers throughout. This unit from factory only comes with the 4. We went ahead and put some in the rear section there that actually was a from factory issue on the soft tops. So I like that. Gave us 6 speakers, kind of rounds it up a little bit. We do have subs underneath each rear seat to bring in that low end. They're a shallow sub, so it's not really driving high volumes of low beats, but it definitely does. It just rounds it up, gives it a nice full sound. The one part that I'm really excited about that come into play through a request of the customer is a rear view mirror. Nice clean look, but hit the button, it's that camera. It's pulling that signal from that rear camera, gives you great optics. It's a beautiful thing. The first time I ever experienced that was in a friend's vehicle, a CTSV, and it was amazing. And that was something that I wanted to do. I was waiting for a customer to want to kind of take on that. Perfect fitment here because we have nothing but blind spots in the back. You know, the slant back that Wilson promoted and showed off in one of the last episodes would have really benefited from that feature there. It wasn't around 2 years ago when we built it. So we do have a switch scenario up here right above the entertainment center, as you can call it, that accesses and controls all the lights on board. A few key things you'll see in here is the black with the gray stitching. Kept it real tame. Again, it's nice and classy. Even the gauges we chose are a Speed Hut gauge. That they're not over the top with a bunch of bells and whistles. This particular model, they do have a collection of gauges in different varieties of styles. We do kind of choose this model, autometers, and a few other gauge companies out there on most of our builds. The AC system is a very big highlight of this build. The 94, really the 92 through 96 and a half were very remedial, very lackluster AC system. This is our 2nd gen. This is one that was highlighted in other episodes with Ryan over at the mill when he's doing this faceplate. Our 1st gen was one that was a dual blower. Actually, it was seen by a few other companies and they started sourcing it. So we dropped that model. It really was interfering with the passenger footwell there, and it gave us the motivation to change it and really kind of flex our capabilities. So we went with a single blower. It's higher CFM, great output on it. I wish I could run it right now because it's a little warm in here, but it does blow amazing. It brings a level of AC that you would expect out of the 06 Alpha to this 94. Which the original system, for you guys that know the ins and outs, it's the blue box, it's the cable controlled. It's one of the basic systems and practically out of the 70s era of vehicles. So this is a huge addition. We outfitted it with some USB ports. These are all backlit as I got the running lights on. The actual knobs there are backlit, which has got a nice touch to them. And then that billet block that handles the control with the Predator logo there. Other than that logo there and the one on the headrest was really simple, really clean. Like I said, we kept it classy. This thing is all business outside, but inside it's nice and refined. Thanks for watching. That's a wrap on this episode. Had a great time showing you the copper truck. Upcoming would be the camo truck. Got a lot of things to cover on that, from where it was to where it is now. Check out the merch. New shirts are coming and dropping almost as frequently as our vlogs. Hit the subscription, hit the notification. Thanks again. See you.
What was that?
That was the gate horn thing. Exploit for these vehicles.
What the fuck was that?
It's a pause. Sweating balls over here. Very quick on making stupid outros.
Yeah, that's not working.